Okay guys, Assalamu alaikum. How are you everyone? So this is the first lecture for C++ programming applications in data acquisition. Although the handout that I am explaining here is handout number 2 because it has all the commands, all the functions that we use. Okay, but it is the first lecture, okay, because you have to understand all the functions that we use in the C++ for data acquisition application. And you know that the first handout that I uploaded is for the basics of C++. Our aim, we are not a computer science student, our aim is to understand how to use C++ programming for data acquisition applications. Okay, so this is this class, this lecture is specifically about how we will use C++ in data acquisition application. Now this one we have explained to you in 234. We have a board there, okay, that board that we are using for in our course, okay, for applications of C++ programming. And that board, if you see, there are many digital inputs, digital outputs, analog inputs, analog output. We can connect the switches, we can connect the stepper motor, we can connect the lamps and all these things. Okay, this is the basic diagram for the output that we are using. We are using ULN 2003 Darlington pair. We have discussed this one multiple times, and I am sure that all of you know what is the function of ULN 2803, okay, or ULN 2003. Okay, all of them have the same function, and they are used to drive high current. Okay, and they are connected to the ports, and this port, for example P2.0, when I will send a signal, it will control the lamp for the first lamp. Then we have second lamp. So port 2 of the microcontroller is used to control the 8 output lamps, okay, digital output lamps. And this is in the syncing mode. Okay, so this is the output diagram. And for example, what are the commands that we use for the output? Very simple. You know, these are the 4 outputs, 5 output commands that we have studied in EE234. Okay, what are these output commands? The first one is write all digital. By the way, I am giving you the summary because I assume that you guys can recall, okay, and when inshallah you will practice in the lab, you will recall very fast. So write all digital, and here we provide the data. So for example, that if let's say that I write, let me just turn and start one file where I can write something just to explain to you. So we have so for example that we have let's say make a text. Leave the text. Okay, let me explain from you here. So we write all digital. Let's say how many outputs we have here total. We have total 8 outputs. Okay, so these 8 outputs they have certain address. Each one has a unique address, right? Okay, so when I write all digital, now this one is total 8 outputs. So this data will be the decimal data. Okay, and we know that if we write let me draw here. We have total let's say we have total 8 lamps. It's not good, so we just need to eraser. Okay, so we have total, let's say that we have 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Okay, so this one is the first output is from here. Okay, this is the first output, O0, okay, to output number 7. Okay, so O0, O1, O2, O3, O4 up to O7. Okay, we have total 8 outputs. Okay, from here to here. Now when I say that write all digital, for example, I write all digital, okay, and I write this one is if for example all of them are on, okay, 1 1 1 1 1, what it will be, okay, for example it is 1 1 1 1 1, okay, 1 1 1 1 1. So we will have all the 8 will be out on, so we will have 255. Okay, so when I give the data, now this is decimal. When you see here this data, this is basically decimal data. This is decimal data. Okay, so you write 255. So what will happen? All these outputs, the output number 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, all of them will be on. Okay, and for example, if I write, let's say 1, okay, so what will happen? It is decimal 1 in binary. This one will be 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 1. Okay, so only the first output will be on, others will be off. And when we have written 255, it means all of them are 1. Okay, because you know that 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 equals to 255. Okay, so it means all are on. When we have 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 1, it is actually 1. Okay, similarly, for example, if I write, let's say 0 0 0 0 1 1 1 1, means I want the first 4 outputs to be on, which is 1 1 1. We all know 15, right? So if, for example, if I write all digital 15, so what will happen at the time? The first 4 output, 1 2 3 4, the first 4 will be on, others will be off. Okay, so this is the way that we actually use this command, write all digital. Now the next command is clear all digital. Clear all digital is very, very simple, you know, and you have used it before, that when we write clear all digital, okay, it will just clear all the outputs. Okay, it will clear all the outputs. Then we have, so these are the commands where we are selecting all the outputs together, all the digital outputs together. Okay, from O0 to O7, total 8 outputs. Okay, now understand, if we have other command which is called set digital channel. Okay, and we have channel number. Okay, before this one we have another one which is called set all digital. Set all digital, when I say set all digital, okay, command, it is same like I am saying write, I should copy from here, write all digital 255. Okay, so it is same thing, means set all digital means what? That you are turning all the outputs on. Clear? Okay, this is set all digital. So you will write set capital A double L all digital. Okay, by the way, this capital small, you have to be careful. Okay, then we have command which is set digital channel, and here we will specify the channel number. Now these channel number will be from 1 to 8, not 0 to 7. Okay, this is one thing which is in this command. Okay, this is how we define. By the way, these commands, these are digital output procedures or command that are defined by us. We have defined it. Okay, so we will write here set digital channel. Okay, and let's say I write channel number set digital channel 1. Okay, so what will happen? The first output O0 will be on. Okay, we can say O1. Okay, and when I write set digital channel 8, then what will happen? This one will be on, O7 will be on. Okay, so you can say it will be in this case O8. Okay, so basically this set digital channel is used, the addresses that we use is from 1, addresses are from 1 to 8. And similar is clear digital channel. Okay, so this is the output procedure. So these are the outputs that we are using, output commands, output functions that we are using in C++. Now this is one thing which is very important. You know, these commands, these functions, they are helping us to communicate with our hardware. Okay, in every compiler these are not there. Okay, we have to define it, we have to declare those as a function and we define it. Okay, and this is what we have done in our program. Okay, so this is the about the output, and then we have the input. Okay, the input diagram I did not see here, but the input diagram we have same hardware for the input as well, but it is going to the switches. Okay, coming from the switches. Here we have the output, but there is one more diagram for the input as well in our old EE234 lab manual. Let me just see if I have the lab manual of EE234 lab handout. No, I don't have it, the lab manual. Okay, otherwise I could have shown you, but it is same thing. Okay, but what the most important thing you have to understand, okay, how we use the digital input commands. Okay, now for you these are the two important. Okay, digital output and digital input. Okay, we will study now in this one only these two, and we will do the applications in the next class. So what is digital input? Okay, now for example here we have total, let's erase all this one. This eraser is this one, I always forget. Yeah. Okay, so let's now the question is how many input we have. We have total 5 inputs, 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, this is I0, I1, I2, I3, I4. Total 5 inputs we have. We don't have 8 inputs, we have total 5 inputs, and you can see we have total 5 digital switches. Okay, there. Okay, this is what we have provided in the hardware. Okay, now what are the commands that we are using here? We have read all digital. It is very simple. Okay, read all digital command is what? Okay, so we have read all digital. Okay, you use like this. Let's say I say integer input. Okay, this is a variable integer in. Okay, so in is a variable which is integer type, and I write in equals to read all digital. Okay, and this one okay, like this. Okay, what will happen now? Now I will, it is an input, right? So we will have a switches here. Okay, we will have a switches here. So what I will do, I will press these switches. Okay, for example, if I press all the switches all together, so it is what, 5 bits, right? So 5 bits means what? Assume that I press all switches, it will read what? 1 1 1 1 1. Okay, so 1 1 1 1 1 equals to 31, right? It means what will be the value of input? Input will become equal to 31. Very simple. Okay, and assume that I press only the first switch from the top. Okay, the first switch from the top. Okay, so this will be what? 0 0 0 0 1. So which will be equal to what? 1. Okay, so the value of in will be equals to 1. If I assume I press the first two switches, I0 and I1, so it will be what? So you have to be very careful. Okay, 0 0 0 1 1, so it will read, okay, 3. So this one, it gives you the value, the input in decimal numbers. So read all digital, it will give in decimal, it will return decimal, it will not return the binary, it will return decimal. Okay, so whatever the switches I will press, it will convert into binary, from binary to digital to decimal, and the value of in variable will be defined. Okay, so this is how we read the inputs, guys. Okay, similarly, we, for example, that I press the second output only. Okay, so it will read what? Very simple 2. Okay, and so on. If I read this one, okay, so it will read 8. So in this way I will read whatever based on the switch pressed. Okay, I will read, and then I can control my outputs. Okay, my outputs I can control. So this is how we use the input. Okay, this one, read all digital. And if I have read digital channel, okay, now here see the addresses are what? 1 to 5. Okay, so it is very simple. So I can use it like read digital channel, and I will write the address here 1. It means what? This one will read only from channel number 1. Now it will give it 2 values only, 0 or 1. Okay, if for example this switch is pressed, now it is reading from 0. Okay, so I0, okay, the input number 1, okay, which is channel 1. I0 is channel 1, I4 is channel 5. Okay, so this is channel number 1. If I press this switch, it means this value in will be 1. Okay, now if I will press I4, nothing will happen. Nothing will happen on the this one I0. Okay, because it depends only on channel number 1. Okay, and for example, if I define integer in2, another variable in2, okay, and I write in2 equals to read digital channel 4. Now this one will depend upon channel number 4. Okay, so channel number 4. So basically they are communicate with the individual channels, individual inputs, and addresses are 1 to 5. Okay, now if I will use this command, now if I press anything on I0, it will not affect this in 2. Okay, because it depends upon the input, which is what is on at the channel number 4. If I press channel number 4, in2 will become 1, else in2 will be 0. Very simple. Clear, guys? This is what about we have digital input and digital output. Okay, just leave this analog input and output here. Okay, this one, open device, these two commands, open device, just don't bother about open device, okay, and close device. It is just only for your hardware to communicate with the C++. Okay, when we will have this one and we will have the address of the card, this device will start communication. Okay, now in one thing which is very important for you to understand, that in your command, in your in the environment, in the lab, when we will use, okay, at the lab, in the lab, there is a very, you will have, okay, how you will have it, you will have many commands here. Okay, many commands will be here. Okay, so and there will be a place, we call it students area. Okay, student area of working. Okay, so here you will write all your commands. Okay, here you will write all commands, and you don't need to write integer main. You will start only, this will be your working. Okay, you will just write your program there in the student area. You will not write anything, okay, before, you will not change anything, and after you will not change anything. Okay, we will discuss this one in the lab also, and I think you guys remember whatever we have here that are defined, that is the part of our hardware programming, and that define different kind of functions that we use. Okay, that is the way, whatever the programming is there, you don't need to bother. That is what we have used to define our different program, different that has it has the functions to define these commands, these functions. Okay, it has the complete code, okay, to define these functions. So there's a programming there on the top that we are doing it. Okay, so anyways, don't need to bother. Now look this command, how it will work. Okay, for example, I run this command. So clear screen, we know clear screen. For integer k equals to 1, k is less than equals to 15, k plus plus. So it will count what? 1, 2, 3, you know, for loop, okay, 3, 4 and up to 15, right? Okay, k plus plus. And it will send write all digital k. So write all digital 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and up to 15 will go. And sleep 1, it is used for the delay. Clear? Delay. So what will happen? When this command will be done, okay, so at the time on the output, you will see this one, the first 4 outputs, okay, because it is going up to what? Up to 15. The first 4 output you will see, this will be 0, 0, 0, 0, then 0, 0, 0, 1, okay, this one will be on, then 1, 0, then 1, 1, okay, you will see the counting in the first 4, okay, the first 4 counting, okay, because it is going up to what? Up to, it is going up to 15, okay, so you will see the counting on the first 4. Okay, depending upon what we have written. Let's say if I write 255, then what will happen? Assume I write at 255. So you will have the total 8 outputs. Just let me just redraw it. So assume I have total 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. O 0, O 7. Okay. So very simple. If I am doing like this and I write here 2 instead of 15, I write 255. 255. So to start counting 1 to 255 and it will send to this k will go to the right all digital. So what will happen? You will see that from here to here it will start counting 0 0 0 0, then 1, then 1 0, then 1 1, 1 0 0, 1 0 1, 1 1 0, 1 0 1 1 1, then 1 0 0 0, 1 0 0 1, 1 0 0, 1 0 1 0 and so on. Okay, because why? Because here it is counting 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 up to 255. So whatever the decimal will come there, okay, it will send that decimal to write all digital command in the buffer. Okay, that one will control the output. It will convert into binary and it will turn on the outputs. Okay, this is how this program will work. Then we have, when the program will sleep, one is for the delay. Between each output there will be a delay 1 second. Okay, for using sleep one you will use dos.h. okay, header file dos.h. You know, we have so many header files. Okay, and then we have clear all digital, and printf is same like clear C out. Okay, there is no difference between C out command and printf command. Okay, same thing. See, I have written in the comment. You know, this one is comment. Okay, so C out thanks, or you write printf, it is same thing. Okay, get ch, you know, get ch function is to stop and check the output, and then we have written 0. Okay, let's see program number 2. Okay, so program number 2 is what? Write a complete bold and C++ program to read a number from the screen. So you have to read an input from the screen and send it to the LED. The program will ask user whether he want to repeat. If user presses Y means yes, it will repeat. Otherwise, any other key otherwise will exit the program. Now here we use go to and if and else. Okay, so how it will be done? Very simple. Now first of all we have 2 variables. One variable is to take the input, okay, because it is telling you that user will take a number, read a number from the screen, okay, to send at the LED. And another one, character. Okay, why this character option we are using? Because we have to ask a question from the user, yes or no, do you want to repeat or not? Okay, now here, you know, there is a label we define X label. You remember in this one we have also labels in assembly language programming, and we use these labels also in the assembly language programming. So whenever, for example, we need to jump back to anyone, we write jump. Okay, if I write jump and I will go back to here. Okay, similarly in the, we don't have jump here, we have go to. Okay, So for example, you will see go to X. So from here it will jump back to this label. Okay, this label. Okay, it will jump back to this place. Now how this program will work? The first of all, the message will come. Okay, this is the message C out. You know, C out. Yeah, you know in the previous lecture, and you know C++ programming. C out is to print the output, and this is to print the text. Okay, text you print like this, double quote, and then we have the text, double quote, we close it. And C input is to take the input. Okay, whatever the input will be taken from the you know, this one from the by the user, it will blink there. Okay, when the program will come at this point, it will blink. Okay, when the user will hit any keyboard, any input, any number 7, 8, whatever, okay, that one will be defined to the num variable. Okay, so whatever the input I will put here, it will be defined to the num variable. Okay, then write all digital num, whatever the user has pressed. Okay, let's say 5 or 4, whatever, that one will be will go to write all digital, and it will go to the output. Okay, so for example, assume that I take the input 255. Okay, when I make 255, what will happen? 255 will go and all the outputs will be on. If I press 1, then only the first output will be on. If I press 15, okay, input num is 15, okay, I provide the input 15, then the first 4 will be on. Okay, so in this way it is controlling. Okay, very simple. And then you will have a delay for 1 second, and then it will ask a question. It will repeat. Okay, do you want to repeat the process? And now you have to, the user has to provide Y or any other character. Okay, if you press Y, if option equals to Y. Now for example, here is the input, asking the input. The screen will blink and you will provide the input. If I press Y, okay, because character is the type of the variable that accepts you know, alphabets. Okay, integer and float, we know they accept numbers. Okay, float is with decimal number, decimals, integer is without decimal, and character is the one that accepts the alphabets. So if I press alphabet Y, it will be assigned to option variable. And then it will check if option equals to Y. If it a variable I have pressed Y, it will go back to X or go to X. Okay, this label, because I want to repeat the same process. Otherwise, it will just else. So this is how we use if else. If this condition and there is no semicolon. For every command we have semicolon here. There is no semicolon in the if and else commands. Okay, clear all digital and exit 1. So exit 1 will exit from the program. Okay, it will not go here. Exit the program. And by the way, why we have used this brackets? Okay, why we use this brackets? Because we have 2 commands. Okay, so therefore we are using them between the 2 brackets. Okay, because we have multiple command. When we have multiple command, now here in the for the if command, if one, we have only go to X, 1 command, right? If this is true, only 1 instruction. Okay, 1 instruction, so we don't need, we can put the brackets. Okay, but we don't need basically. Okay, open bracket and close bracket. Okay, we don't need, because it is only 1 command, but we have multiple commands. We just put them in a bracket just so that when this is true, it will execute both of them. Okay, get CS return 0. So this is the way that we use, you know, our what you call it, this one, output and input. And as I said to you, that when you will go, let me just see if I have the lab.
Can you get in this room? I'm not sure. You might be able to travel across dimensions, but so far it hasn't been. You could just stand here for a packet. No, very well.
Anyways, just only don't worry about this one. The point is, you know, I want to just show you the screen, but inshallah I will show you on that day. Okay, there is a student area where you have to work. Okay, as I said to you, your student area where you have to work. You don't have to write integer main and these things. You have to simply write your own program. Okay, which we are studying now, and you will directly do it. Okay. Now let's go to handout number 1 and see some programs. Okay. Okay, so you will do up to here, this program number 2, you will do up to here, then we get function. Okay, function, let me cover in the next what you call it, lecture. Okay, because function, I need to explain you something. And I remember that you guys, I know that you guys know the function, but I will explain again. This one is a very simple program. I just only to show you that how we use switch case. Okay, switch case is same like if and else. Okay, so now we came back, by the way, to the handout number 1. Okay, switch case is same like if and else command. Okay, so we have what we have, this program is, so if a switch is this variable, there is no what you call it, semicolon, and it is like this, that if case plus means if operation equals to plus. Okay, equals to plus, then do this, and then we break command. Break will take it out of everything. Okay, up to output here. Okay, this is the purpose of the break. So when you will see the break, it will just don't do anything, it will directly come out of the whole the switch operation, function. So we have switch function, switch and case command that we have to understand. Okay, with simple arithmetic calculator, we are not using any output and input. Okay, so where output and input, the hardware output and input. So this is very simple. We have 3 variables. Float, we use float here, and float, you know what is the purpose of the float. We can have decimal points as well. Okay, character operation, we have another variable which is for the alphabets. So the first one, you have 3 inputs. Now we can take all the inputs together. So we have first input A, and then we have operation. It can be plus, minus, okay, and multiplication and division, and the second input B. Sorry guys, there was just 1 minute. So anyway, so what happened that so if you will have 3 inputs, so let's say I write here, it will now this is the beauty of C++. Within one expression I can take 3 inputs all together. See, C in A, operation B. So let's say I provide the first input 5, then I provide plus, then I provide 3. What will happen now? It will go in this function. Our operation is plus, right? So if operation equals to plus, it means it will be plus, B means 5 plus 3, 8, result value will become 8. Clear? And similarly, if I provide the input A, and then 5, for example, minus, instead of plus, I provide minus, so it will go to the second one. So depending upon the operation, okay, you have this. So it is, you can say, right, it is if operation equals to plus, if operation equals to minus, if operation equals to, okay, this one. So if I say, let me just write down also so you can understand that what does it mean. So if somebody write this one, case plus, it means what? It means actually if operation double equal to plus. Okay, by the way, these symbols we always use in the single quote. Okay, otherwise it will be wrong. So it is same command, we write this or we write this. So switch case is an alternative command for if and else. Why we use it? Because it is more faster. Okay, it is quicker than in the execution than the if and else. Okay, and after each one's case plus, for example, we write and we have this one colon, okay, here. So we have to be careful about the colon. And then this one is the format. It is, I don't need to tell you, okay. And the default. So we have cases, and you must have a final which is default. Means if it is all false, it is all false. Okay, all conditions are false. It will simply go to here. For example, I instead of plus, minus, multiplication, division, I press anything else, okay, anything else, none of them. So it will directly go to default, and it will give the message invalid operation, program terminated. Okay, return -1 because it will just return from here inside. Otherwise it will come here. Okay, after finishing all this, it will come outside and result, it will print the output. We don't have return -1 in others, we have only in this one, because in this case this one will not execute. Okay, so will come out. This return 0, return -1, return 0 is the normal, you know, our program finishes. If we are before one step earlier, we are taking finishing the program, we will write return -1, then we have return -2 and so on. Okay, this is the way. Now this is one of the program that we write using switch case statement, very simple. Now here I explained to you already, guys, that we have the outputs and the inputs. Now you know that in our board, in the lab that we are using, we have total 8 digital outputs and 5 digital inputs. 8 digital outputs and 5 digital inputs. What we can do now, that we can have switches, we can assume switches. Okay, 2 switches, and we have the outputs, we can assume 2 devices. Okay, heater and the fan. Okay, so we have 2 bit 0 and bit 1 as the controller circuit for the heater and fan. Now where is the bit 0 and bit 1? We have already seen these two. Okay, bit 0 and this one is bit 1. Okay, so this one as per what he explained to you, bit 0 is heater. Okay, so this is my heater and this is my fan. So when I will write O0, O1, O2, O3, O4, O5, O6, O7. Okay, we have total 8, right? So this one is what? Heater, and this one is what? Fan. So if this is on, all 0, this heater is on. It means it is 1, right? It is 1. It will give 1, okay, in decimal. Okay, when it is 0, when fan is on, if my fan is on instead of the heater, so it will be 1 0, it means 2, right? 1 0 means 2. And if both on, so 0 0 0 0 0 0 0, and this one 2 will be 1 1, both on, 1 1, others are all 0, so it will give you what? 3. So this is the first thing you need to understand, okay, that this is how we have the output. We have the first 2 only we are using at the output, others we don't care, we are not using them the output. Okay, we are using only the first two, heater and the fan. The heater is on the bit number 0, means output, the first output. Okay, and this one is fan is at the second output. Okay, we use second output, and heater the first output, bit 0, bit 1, which is actually the output number 1 and output number 2. Okay, or O0 or O1. Clear? So what we are now, we use what? We control them by the devices. This one connected, we control by the keyboard. They control from the keyboard. Okay, we will control from the keyboard. Now how this is also the flow chart is given to you. Okay, you know the flow chart include all the header files, and this one display the menu display is very important because the user must know what you are going to do, and then read the choice from the keyboard. Now we have the inputs, right? We have inputs. How many inputs? We have 5 inputs, right? So we have number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have I0, then we have I1, then I2, I3, I4 up to I5. In our case, we are using only I0 and I1. Okay, I0 and I1. These two are the input that we are using here. Okay. So it is telling you what? Read the choice from the keyboard. You will choose from the keyboard. Is it 0? Yes. Fan off. Okay. Or heater, fan off, heater off. Okay. And then one delay, fan off, heater on. Okay. This is the way it is programmed. Okay. It is not depending, by the way. I'm sorry. It is not depending upon the input. It is depending upon what you press on the keyboard. Yeah. Sorry, it is independent of the output, independent of the input. So there is no, I'm sorry, in this program, we will use another program also for the input I will give you. But in this one, it is not saying you depend upon the input. It depends upon what you type on the keyboard. Very simple. It doesn't depend upon the input. It depends upon what you type on the keyboard. Okay. So it is telling you very simple. It is more simple. Read the choice from the keyboard. What you will press from the keyboard. Okay. You press 0. Okay. What will happen? Fan off, heater on. Okay. It depends upon me how I control it. Okay, so I define it. If it is 1, what will happen? Fan on, heater off. Okay, so when it is 0, so assume that I press, let me just erase something just so I can. Guys, let me just give me 2 minutes. Okay, so we have, this is my input from the keyboard. There is no input from the switches. I am not taking input from the switches, and I have the output O0, O1 up to O7. Okay, now here what I have, bit 0 is heater, so it means that I have here heater, I have here fan. Others I don't care. O2, O3, O4, O5, O6, O7 means all others are 0 to me because I don't care. Okay, I just care about these two, O0 and O1. Okay, now depends. So for example, it is telling you if from the keyboard, now I am not providing the input from the switches, from the keyboard. Okay, if I press 0 from the keyboard. Okay, so for example, if I press 0, okay, what will happen that time? What will happen? Fan off, heater off, because initially the devices are off. It is always, we call it we use this one for the safety. Okay, I cannot just do like this, that fan is off, heater on, then I just switch directly fan on, heater off. Okay, the default, first of all, it has to both off, then it will switch. Okay, so it is just only for the safety purpose. Then you have a delay, and mainly I have to go fan off and heater on. So my actual state is fan off and heater on. So it will be all 0 and then 1, which is what in decimal it is 1, right? Then we have, it is telling you that if you have 1, if 1, then again for the safety both will be off, and then fan on, heater off. Okay, so when with 1, fan will become on and heater will be off. Okay, so what I will do, if it is 1 by keyboard, fan on and heater off, others I don't care, so it becomes what? 2. Clear, guys? Then what we have, the third condition is 2. It is telling you 2. If it is 2, if from the keyboard I press 2, so what happened? If I press 2, both off. Both off means what? It will be 0, 0. So which is what? 0, right? Okay, and if I press, then we have a default condition that if you press anything else, okay, both on. Okay, so if I press anything else, whatever, okay, it will be all 1, 1, which is what? 3. Okay, 3, right? Now we don't bother about what is at O2 to O7 because it is not our point concern. Okay, we have only concern about the first two. So we will have the menu, as I explained you, the menu, press 0 to make fan off, heater on. So 0, 1, as I showed to you here in this diagram, 0 1. Okay, then we have press 1. If you press 1 from the keyboard, fan on, heater off. So fan, this is 1 0, which is what, 2. And if you press 2, means the input is 2 from the keyboard, what will happen? What will happen at the time? Both off means 0. Any number more than 2, both on. Okay, so 1 1. Okay, so in this case it will be 3. Okay, it is not showing, it is actually 3. Okay, okay, 1 1 is 3. Okay, we know that. So this is very simple command. So how we use it now? Now we know here, this is the way it will be. Okay, you will have many things and you will have the student work. Okay, here we use DOS.h. IO stream is used for C out and C in. DOS.h is used for because we will be having this sleep command, right? Sleep command. Okay, we use sleep command, then we use DOS. Okay. And then we have this conio.h. Conio.h is for use for clear screen and return 0. Okay, get ch. Clear screen and get ch. Okay, we use conio.h. So you should know these are the header file, header libraries we must include for certain commands, and that I explained to you now. Okay, so how this one I told you how you write the program. This one, by the way, you will directly go and do it in the home or in the lab. Okay, when you will come. Integer choice. Now here I have to write while loop continues till a special number is pressed, because this loop is a continuous loop. Okay, so we have to finish with some certain condition. Okay, and we are taking now, there is one command, there are commands which is called while not keyboard hit. And I remember, I am that sure that everybody knows this command. We use while not keyboard hit. This one will continue unless you hit the keyboard. Okay, now we cannot use this while not keyboard hit here, just that it to continue. Why? Because I am providing the input from the keyboard. We are pressing the input. It is taking this program is taking input mainly from the keyboard. Choice from the keyboard. Okay, so therefore I will not use while not keyboard hit. What we do usually, we can write one that while choice not equal to 500, for example. Okay, now what will happen means this program will continue unless what I press 500. Okay, then this loop will end. Okay, so I know, okay, that if I have to end this program, I have to use 500. Okay, but now then clear screen. Now first of all you must tell the user, because today I am the operator, in the evening somebody else is coming, for example, in the morning some other else operator. He should know how you have written your program. Okay, if he doesn't know, it will be a problem for him. Okay, so I write here, first of all the menu will come every time. Okay, clear screen, the menu will come, press 0 to make fan off, heater on. So he must know. If he doesn't know what he has to press, and he press a wrong thing and the different device will be on, then it might be problem for him. Okay, so he should know the meaning. Okay, and similarly he should know what he has to press to end the program. Okay, then you have C in choice, then you write switch case. Okay, case 0. Now I will just finish write this one for you to understand what you will write here now. So you have that switch case choice. The first case is 0, right? Case 0. So what we have to write here? Okay, tell me what you will write now. It is telling you press 0 to make fan on and heater off. Okay, fan on and heater off, it has to go what? 1, right? So what I can write, very simple. I can write. Yeah, I have to follow the flow chart. Fan off, heater off, delay, then fan off, heater on, right? So very simple. What I will write? Clear all digital, clear, then sleep 1 second delay, and then write all digital, and I will press what is my decimal output. There are multiple ways, by the way, I can do. Okay, so in our case, okay, 0 1 means one output, right? So simply I will write 1 here. Okay, instead of that one, you know, I can also use a command, or I can use what? Set digital channel and 1, right or not? Because it is turning on the first one. Very simple. And break. Khalas. This is very simple. Similarly, now see this one, case 1. What will happen case 1? Case 1 is what? If I press case, keyboard press case, C in. I am not using switches, C in, okay, input, okay. So if I press, when I take the input C in choice and I press 1, okay, instead of 0 I press 1, okay, what will happen now? Fan on, heater off, means 1 0, which I showed you here. 1 0 is what? 2, right? Now I have two choices, okay. So if I write, if I have case 1, okay, so you guys, what will that? The same thing. Clear all digital, sleep 1, write all digital, you will write either this one 2 or set digital channel what? 2, okay. So it is what? 2 means 1 0 and 2 because it is channel number 2. Clear? Okay, very simple. And if we have, it is telling you any number, press 2 to make both off. So very simple. Okay, case 2, clear all digital, right? Simple, because both off. And anything else in default, what we will have, guys? Default will be both on. It means what? Both on means was 3, right? So I will write simply write all digital 3, or I can write set digital channel 1, set digital channel 2. Clear? Okay, so very simple. Okay, so this is the way that in the default we will use this one, and understand. Okay, so we have, because both outputs are on. So I will write all digital 3, and then, or I can write set digital channel 1, set digital channel 2. Okay, so this is the way we will do our program. Okay, you guys will write this program. Now here, this program is also very simple. You guys can use it. Okay, here it is using the function, or use function. Function I will explain you in the next lecture, inshallah. Okay, for the time being, next class, please understand now what you will do. This is the handout number 2. Clear? Handout number 2. Okay, and handout number 1. In handout number 2, what you will do? Handout number, first of all, you will go to handout number 2. You will write program number 1, program number 2, okay, 2 program, and then you will come here, you will write program number 1 and program number 2. So the first 2 program of each one you will do, okay, and even 3 also, because the same program you will write if you use if else. Okay, so just do these 2, and then we will, inshallah, for the functions we will use, inshallah, the next time. Okay, other programs depend upon the functions. Okay, so it is very simple. We will use function, and I will tell you how to use function. I will make it very easy. Okay guys, so please, our next class is on inshallah on Wednesday lab. Okay, on Wednesday lab you guys will come. You have 5 programs starting from handout 2. You will do the first 2, then you will come to handout 1. Okay, you will do the first one, and which handout? These 2 handouts. Okay, so handout 2 first, and then handout 1. Okay, they are already uploaded there. You can download it, okay, with you, print it and bring it to me. So the first this one first two program from each one except the function don't do now in the next class, okay, because we will not have that much of the time. You will directly do and you will go and you will do it. And I explained to you in the lab you will have a place for working, okay. You will have so many as I showed to you in this handout, that there will be an area for the students to work, okay. So you have to work in that area only. Clear, guys? Okay, you will work in that area. Whatever the before and after, you will just escape it and you will just write, you will work in the students area that is defined to you. Okay, my friends, so I hope this one is clear. Okay, you have to inshallah come as I describe you guys. We will have the groups and inshallah accordingly we will do the lab. Okay, thank you. Allah Hafiz. And inshallah we will discuss in the lab, we will meet in the lab inshallah. Okay, assalamu alaikum.